Selva. That's right. We've got a game. You're setting your lineups. Week 2 is tomorrow on NFL Network. Bucks and Panthers. And the rankings are out. NFL.com. Do I agree with all of them? No. Do I agree with Mahomes at number 1? Do I agree with anybody taking on the Dolphins at 2? Yeah, probably. I think Cam's a little high. I think Drew's a little low on this list. But most notably, I noticed that there are 2 quarterbacks who laid fantasy eggs in week 1 that need to be in the top 10. There's the first guy. His name's Jared Goff, and he gets to play at home. Home road splits matter in the fantasy game, and he is the poster boy for that. Last year, he averaged over 350 yards a game, 24 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions when he got to play at home on the West Coast. And he's facing the Saints. So I think he needs to be in the mix here. Also, he takes care of the Saints from a fantasy perspective. Look at his numbers in 4 games, over 300 passing yards. His touchdowns are great, few interceptions, and over 20 fantasy points a game. Does that mean, though, that I like him over a guy like Drew Brees? Let's work our way from the bottom here, 10-1. I'm going to say yes. Drew Brees also is a home road split guy. I don't like that he has to go on the road. He didn't really take care of business from a fantasy perspective against the Rams the last time we saw him, so I'm going to say he needs to be above him. Cam, I mean, we haven't seen a brilliant fantasy performance from Cam Newton since back in week 10 of last year, so yeah, I'm going to put Jared Goff above him. Rodgers, he has mediocre performances against Minnesota, especially most recently, less than 200 yards, just a touchdown, and they were really rusty coming out the gate. So I think Jared Goff will have a high-scoring game and will be better than Aaron Rodgers. Matt Ryan does get to play at home, and that makes a difference. I like that, but I was there up close and personal on game day morning for this Eagles game. The defense, I hate it. He didn't prove enough to me last week, so I'm going to go ahead and put him above Matt Ryan. Am I really doing this, guys? Jared Goff above Dak Prescott?
Do it.
Coming off a career-best game, and he gets Washington, who got lit up by Carson Wentz and company. Can't do it. No. I'm going to say Jared Goff belongs between Dak Prescott and Matt Ryan. If you drafted him like Kyle Brandt did, I mean, Kyle Brandt called him his MVP this year. How are you feeling about Goff this week?
I felt fine. I felt great when I drafted him. He still has his receivers. He still has the head coach. It was a weird game because they put up 30 points, and so you figure Goff went crazy, and then every time Scott Hansen would go to the Rams game, it's Malcolm Brown just killing me. 1 week, guys. Look at his coach. Look at his receivers. Stick with Goff.
Trakes, why are people losing faith in Goff right now?
They're losing faith in Goff because they think that it's all dink and dunk with Cooper Kupp. He didn't have the big hit to Brandon Cooks last week. Yeah. You're going to see it this week. That Saints defensive backfield had a lot of holes on Monday night.
Home road splits continue here on GMFB. Another guy missing is Big Ben. This is the guy when you think of that sort of thing. Week 1, it was not there. Dante Moncrief drops up a bunch of passes. Juju Smith-Schuster is locked up most of the time, but now he's got Seattle, and he gets to play at home. Quickly, let's look at the home road splits, because when he gets to play in Pittsburgh, guys, over the past 3 seasons, he has twice as many touchdowns, just about that. And we know the Seahawks defense just gave up over 400 yards to Andy Dalton without A.J. Green on the field, with a guy who's never coached an NFL game before. Big Ben and Tomlin are not going to let this go down like that. He always struggles in New England. Don't freak out about Big Ben. I'm going to play him above Drew Brees, above Cam Newton. I'm going to say if I was between Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben, and you probably drafted Big Ben as a backup, I'm preferring Ben Roethlisberger at home against the Seahawks this week. I'd place him right after Matt Ryan. Hopefully he gets a bounce back, but feel free, especially in a daily situation or just as a backup quarterback, to go ahead and play Big Ben Roethlisberger. What do you guys think?
Big Ben over Cam is interesting. Cam against Tampa, you like Big Ben more?
I love the matchup, but we've talked about it all morning, Shregs. Christian McCaffrey runs this offense until I see otherwise. How could I possibly make that move? I just feel more confident in Big Ben at home with what he's done perennially in what's a plus matchup. That Andy Dalton thing was crazy. And it was at home for Seattle.
Lit him up.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Well, listen, Big Ben, he has to lean on Juju more. Juju came out after the game and said that I have to be better. Yeah. So you expect that combination to really start to take shape in the second game of the season.
No disrespect to any of these guys. It's all about numbers. I love that Wentz made his way up here. Deshaun Watson, I had number 2 on my overall list. Brady, remember, I had missing from my top 12 quarterbacks going into this season. Things have changed since then. There's your fantasy hit, your fantasy moment, your quarterback rankings for the day. Now let's talk Thursday night football. Christian McCaffrey, we know, is the real deal, the best dual. Welcome back to Good Morning Football. Moments ago, Ian Rappaport reported, and then our Will Selva did as well, that Tyreek Hill is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. A positive sign. KC does not plan to put him on IR. As of now, he'll need to be monitored in rehab, and how quickly it progresses will determine if it's more or less than 6 weeks. Schrager?
Can I make a big, bold prediction or proclamation?
What do you got?
This is the Mecole Hardman week. If they drafted Mecole Hardman and told everyone time and time again, it's not because we have Tyreek Hill's situation pending. Mecole Hardman is a burner. They want to use him the same way as Tyreek Hill. I'm telling the world, this is the Mecole Hardman week, and you're going to see what they unveil for him and unroll for him, because Tyreek out, they don't think it's going to be that big a miss because their offense is so loaded. Hardman, step right up.
I remember we asked the question with Antonio Brown, do the Patriots even need him? Which now we're definitely asking. But I would also ask this. Are the Chiefs going to miss Tyreek Hill? I mean, really, are they going to miss him? Because I know they didn't against Jacksonville. He's their best receiver. He's the fastest player in the league. But with Mecole and Sammy and Kelsey, like, could not Pat Mahomes just show up and be like, when Tyreek gets back, he's back. Meanwhile, I'm going to put up 40 points a week. I feel like this offense is not going to miss a beat. Maybe that's naive. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I had this exact same injury. So when he went down, they said no broken ribs, no broken bones up top by his clavicle, but your clavicle being lodged into your sternum. It does take about a month. The good news for fans, though, when he gets back, he'll be perfectly fine. But let's talk about one of our guests that we have here on the show. Before we get to him, hey, take a look at this.
Titans blitz. Beckham gets ground and is taken backwards. He is hit by Ryan. Blitz coming. Mayfield in trouble. Hit. Gets away. Sack! Mayfield firing, and the pass is intercepted. Picked off. Logan Ryan. His first career interception as a Titan.
All right, it's time for this morning's wake-up call presented by Verizon. We now welcome onto the show a third-round draft pick in the 2013 NFL Draft out of Rutgers University. Woo. Two-time Super Bowl champion, cornerback for the Tennessee Titans, the undefeated Tennessee Titans, Mr. Logan Ryan.
What's up, Logan?
What's up, Logan?
I like that little highlight
chilling,
tape, you guys.
man. Hey.
I can wake up with that every day.
That look, man. Hey, that's what's up, man. I like that look you're working with right now. Hey, so Logan, let's talk about this, man. Week 1, Tennessee Titans, they dominated the Browns, 43-13. You led the team with 8 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1.5 tackles for loss. I mean, you can create a whole highlight film off of that game. But what fueled that game for you guys? Because there was a lot of hype, not about y'all, but about those Browns.
Yeah, we've been getting that question. Obviously, there's a lot of hype with the Browns, and they're a really talented team. But we just felt like we were a group that obviously wasn't being talked about a lot, and that's okay. But we were a group that's been playing together for a little bit now, played some good defense last year. We were able to trust the game plan, trust the scheme. And I want to say one thing, motivation, that only fuels you temporarily. That runs out. I think we're driven. I think I'm a very driven player. And I've been working really hard this offseason to have performances like this. But I got to give credit to my teammates, Dean Pease and Mike Vrabel for the game plan, and my teammates for allowing me to make the plays.
And Logan, the defense was incredible, especially down the stretch. The final 5 possessions, there's 3 picks, there's a pick 6, turnovers on downs. It's interesting. We as a show, we have a lot of friends with the Titans. And this is something that we've talked about with Lawan, with Jarrell. Mm-hmm. It's that national respect that you just knocked off the latest hot team in the Browns, and people are saying, well, do it again. Do you guys feel that in the locker room still, that they know about us here in Tennessee, but when is America really going to embrace the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, we're not falling in that trap again. You guys got us last year with that needed national respect trap. Now we're just going to play ball, man. It's the first week of the season. It's great to start off 1-0, but I know it's week 1, man. I've been playing in this league long enough. You got to keep piling them together. So, I mean, we got a division opponent coming up with the Colts. And it's a team that beat us twice last year. It's a division rival for us right here. We really got to get started in this division. So all eyes onto the Colts. It's a great win, but honestly, we expected to beat Cleveland, not to be cocky or confident. We just believed that we could, and that's why we were able to do it. And we got to believe we could beat the Colts as well.
We talk about a lot of defensive backfields on this show, and naturally to what Kyle was saying, maybe we don't give the Titans defensive backfield enough love. You look at some of the guys there. It's Adoree, it's yourself, it's obviously Kenny Vaccaro, Kevin Byard. Your guys are loaded, and yet the soundbite that we got from week 1 that we all loved was from the tight end, Delanie Walker. Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
Circle this game. This is just another game. We ain't worried about it. I'm going to tell you again, man. They were who we thought they were. Y'all can crown them if you want to crown them. You still got to play football.
All those receivers.
Yeah, that's funny stuff.
It's Landry and Beckham and it's Callaway. What were you guys talking about all week? As we know what Mr. Walker was saying.
Yeah, we were talking about us. I mean, they have a lot of talented guys, highly paid guys, and I respect the heck out of them. I respect Jarvis. I respect Odell. I've been playing them for years. They're great competitors. But, I mean, we're a team. You know, we have some talent on the back end. We have some talent, but we're a true team. It's not just, you know, one player that makes us go, or we just added a guy, so we're going to go. Like I said, we've been playing good football here, good football on defense for a little bit now, and having a good offseason, having a good camp, and we were working in silence, man. We were just working and working. I understand the headlines weren't about us. I understand they weren't there to see us, but they ended up seeing us in the end. And that's the beauty about football. You can make your name on a Sunday.
Logan, we love having you on the show. Like, you are incredible, but I want to talk a little offense with you this morning. This is your third year with Marcus Mariota. How is your quarterback different in 2019? What's changed?
He's healthy. He's healthy. He feels good about himself, and we have his back. I mean, we support him through in and throughout, and it's never been us that's been dragging his name in the mud. It's been everybody else, the people that don't know him. I mean, he's somebody that almost doesn't belong in his generation. He has no social media. He has no way to defend himself publicly. He has no way to go silence his critics other than his play. So that's what he's focused on doing, and it's good to see him healthy, good to see him out there leading the offense. He's definitely the leader of this team.
He's the leader on the field, of course. Mike Vrabel, the head coach. We know the deal with Vrabel. We loved him as a player. Win sprints before the game. He's on record as saying he would do a lot to win a Super Bowl. What makes him different than any other coach you've had in your high school career? What is it about Vrabel, or rather your football career?
Yeah, he's been a player in this league. I mean, he's been through it. He's played in the best games. He's won Super Bowls. He's coached at the college level. He's coached at this level. He's a position coach. He's a defensive coordinator, head coach, a player. So he has experience in that, right. And like I said, our expectation isn't, win a game and it's a Super Bowl around here. We're expecting to win games now. And I think Mike Vrabel brings that. And he runs wind sprints before every practice. And he runs a lot of them, and they're pretty impressive. So I just think he brings that energy. You see him put the pads on, and he's pushing us to be great. He's pushing us to not only be a good defense, be a great defense, not to be a good team, to be a great team.
Logan, you're a great guest on the show and a great guy in the community. Let's talk about your charity, the Ryan Animal Rescue Foundation. Tell us about why you started it and what events you guys have going on.
Yeah, so RARF is a foundation my wife and I started a couple years ago now, and obviously I'm a huge animal lover, a huge dog lover. It raises money, awareness, proceeds, all to shelter animals. You saw about the puppies in the camp. That was great. Right now we got a Pledge a campaign going on where people can donate or pledge a dollar amount for every tackle I make this season. So I'm personally pledging $126 for every single tackle that I make. That will be going to my foundation, which goes directly to animals in their need. And people can pledge $1. That might be $1, and you'll get a statement. And last week I had 8 tackles, so I'll be $8 donation you made. And it's a fun way to track my tackles, to track the game, and help out animal welfare. I know there's a lot of animal people out there, a lot of shelter workers out there that are working for very little to no money, a lot of volunteers out there that are helping these animals out. So I want to give them a shout out. And a lot of good people. I met a lot of good people in this field.
That's awesome stuff, man. Before I let you go, I got to ask, though, that shirt from the LRC, the Logan Ryan collection, what is that? Because I already know about it. Tell everybody else.
Yeah, MMCMB is our corner coach, Kerry Coombs. He came from Ohio State, and he told us when we play man-to-man coverage, my man catch no balls. And that's just something that I was driving home last year, and it kind of stuck with me. It kind of reminded me of YMCMB. So I said, you know what, we should make this our thing. So we made it our mantra, and, you know, the local media and people around here have been talking about it for 2 years now, and now we have the merchandise on sale. We've played, good football in the secondary. We feel like we're a good group here. We're trying to break some records here, personally. And, every shirt that's sold, MMCMB merchandise sold, is going to help out the YMCA of Middle Tennessee. So it's helping out the inner city kids, helping out the minorities in the city, 100% charitable. So people can check it out on my Instagram, on my Twitter. Kevin Byers promoting Adoree Jackson. Like I said, we might be a little, Nashville team here, but we're trying to do some good things in the community, and people want to get behind this secondary and see performances like that. We're trying to bring it back to the community. So 100% of the proceeds are going to YMCA in Middle Tennessee. MMCMB.
Incredible guy. Logan. How about this guy?
Appreciate you, man.
Wow.
I see you. I see you, Logan.
The standing ovation.
MMCMB, baby.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got to get back to work, guys. I got to beat the Colts. I got to get back to work.
All right, man. Peace out. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate
okay,
you, Nick.
you're going to hear it here first.
You're right.
I don't know the answers to these questions. Who is the AFC Player of the Week?
The puppy in the backpack.
Yeah.
The puppy in the
On
backpack.
defense.
Logan
On
Ryan.
special teams. We've got the Players of the Week, revealing them this morning on GMFB. And, I mean, is Brady going to be a Player of the Week?
Gotta be Lamar. Come on.
Right? And we made our picks for who will be the rushing champion. Kyle.
I'm probably doing really well. Or is it? Is it